Hey guys, Paul from Ashen Phoenix. We are here at the comic book store. It is New Comic Book Day for the week of August 24th, and we are just going to get right into it. We have all hands on deck. Jess is back. She's feeling a lot better. And so we're going to get there. First up today is Civil War II, Ulysses #1. So I continue my love affair with Civil War. This is an interesting book that takes a look at specifically Ulysses, the guy who was kind of at the heart of the entire Civil War issue. And we're seeing a lot more to do with Karnak, who, this is not really what's going through. I think he's going to be the one that actually ends up screwing this whole thing up. He's unfeeling, he's too pragmatic, and I think he's, the way it's hinting in the book, he's going to be the one that kind of unravels all the problems that we're going to end up seeing here in Civil War. The art is terrible, but the story is good. So I suggest picking it up just to get a little bit more of what's going on with Ulysses, and you'll probably be able to understand, if this goes how I think it's going to go, you'll understand a little bit more of why this whole world is going to unravel. Highly suggest this one, again, because everything so far has been really well done with Civil War. So pick this one up too, and we'll see how it goes.
Hey guys, it's me, Jess. I'm back. It's good to see you all. So I am reading, this is going to be Faith #2, but Faith #1 was released last week. Last week it was released. I'm going to start that over.
No, let's just keep going.
Okay, alright, we'll keep going. Alright, so yeah,
Why stop?
it was released last week, and the comic book store actually got a bunch in because cue card
that this sponsored cue card they send you. This is the highest selling independent superhero series debut of the year.
Thank you. Alright guys, so this is what it looks like. This is #1, I believe. Nope, wrong. This is #1. This is #2. So I actually read both of them just to kind of get caught up for you guys and jump this one in because a lot of people really enjoy this. So it's pretty much about a regular girl. She's just a plain girl, and much like every other superhero, she ends up losing both of her parents, but instead of being handed a lightsaber or a whole bunch of money, she kind of finds within herself that she has a superpower by dating a guy that helps her realize this. Her superpowers for right now tend to be like a force field as well as flying, and what I really love about this, she's like an everyday girl that actually gets dressed in disguise, not to be a hero, but to live a normal life. So she kind of tries to find a normal job where she's writing, like a lot of superheroes do, and she writes for a column, and the people that she knows, only really one of them knows like who she is, except for the people that she works with. I really like this because she's real. It's really kind of different than anything that you kind of read in a comic, but it's also the same. Like, she has superpowers and she lost most of her parents and all these things. However, one of my favorite things about this is it's great for young girls. It's kind of like an entire storyline, and she's a curvy girl, guys. She's a beautiful curvy girl who is in love with superhero actors, much like all of us are, and she runs into one who ends up being her arch nemesis. Okay, so he kind of tricks her into coming in and having a photo shoot, and she's excited like any girl would be, and he ends up kind of turning on her and finding out that he's going to be the bad guy through all of this. So I would advise you guys to pick this one up. It's going in a really great direction. Like you said, it's got a bunch of great reviews, and the comic book store does have both 1 and 2 because they sent a bunch of 1 because it did so well. So I hope you guys start in with this, and I'll continue to throughout the series, or our YouTube series, let you guys know how this is going. But to me, I really like it, and I feel like it's a great one for everybody, but especially little girls, and it's a different thing. You don't see too many curvy girls that get the positive side of this, and she's a dope superhero, guys, so check it out. Thanks.
Tim from Capes and Scowls, doing my hand motions like I do, and bobbing and weaving as I do as well. Lake of Fire, Image Comics, #1. This was really well written. Maybe too well written? This book is like reading an actual book, and I was not, in my time frame, really prepared to be reading a novel. It's written really well if you like medieval kind of stories. It has, early on you find out that there's kind of an alien threat that crash lands in France. This is like the 1200s. This is like Crusades, that kind of time. and it is two really worthless kids. One of them has somehow found his way into knighthood through some sort of trickery, basically. And he is going to go with the most worthless knight, who is a drunk, to complete a quest, basically just to get him out of everybody's hair. And once they go, they discover aliens, because why not? It is well written. It's not for me. I don't want to say don't get this, because I actually think it's pretty good. It's just not for me. But you might love it. If you love this kind of stuff, this is for you.
All right, next up, guys, Hellblazer number 1. I like how this one's going. A little bit of fourth wall breaking, more of a film noir than it is Deadpool, just like making jokes at everybody. But this is going to start the main arc that's going to be coming through. So these entities, basically, one is trying to stop World War One, and one is trying to basically let things run as they're supposed to do. And of course, Serbian National kills Archduke Ferdinand. World War One happens. World War Two happens, and brings everything back to current life. Hellblazer is fulfilling his promise that he gave to Swamp Thing in the Rebirth issue, and that's most of what the book is taking care of there. And then it flashes back, and we get to the two entities again, who have met each other, who haven't seen each other in almost 100 years, and have realized that one thinks that they are hiding from God. The other one realizes, or at least thinks, that God's not watching. And he kills the guy, and he's going to basically enslave the world. And that's where the book ends, and that's how things are going to be going. Pick this one up. If you like Hellblazer, if you've liked any of the Hellblazer stuff before, it's along that same vein. Grab it.
Blue Beetle number 1. Like my last review, this book is not for me. This book is tough. It's Keith Giffen and Scott Collins. I love Scott Collins' art, and I wasn't really digging it this time. I don't know, I'm sorry. But I've never liked the dynamic of there being two Blue Beetles. One that's very science-y in an airship, and the other one is the teenage kid who goes out and fights crime, and he doesn't want to be part of he doesn't want the scarab that gives him his powers on his back. He just wants to be a regular teenager. It's kind of been done to death. And the Ted Cord isn't the classic science-y kind of Ted Cord that we really liked in the old DCU. So I think if he was more like the old Ted Cord, I would have been able to stomach this a little more. I think this is good for younger readers. It's not written poorly. I just, didn't speak to me. And it's okay. If you got an extra $2.99 burning a hole in your pocket, you could totally have this. This could be yours. It's not really good.
Alright guys, I did Batgirl, the Rebirth of Batgirl. This is number 2. Alright, so the only problem I had with this one is if you jump in without reading 1, you're kind of confused in the beginning of it. So what I will say is that this one was kind of long and drawn out. I really like Batgirl, so you guys will notice like all of my reviews for her have been pretty decent. But for this one, it is kind of like an ongoing her just trying to live a regular life and date this guy Kai, and then, like, most of them do, Babs is having a hard time with her regular life, and then she's kind of gone in and joined some MMA fighting, and they kind of think that she's a ring girl, and she's insulted by that, and then she finds somebody who says, well, there's no spots for any more girls on this card or at this event, so they kind of become friends. And in the beginning of it, you see her reminiscing about a battle that she was having, maybe in the last series, maybe it was just a reminiscence of a battle, and that's kind of what drew this part of the comic in. But she recognized some tattoos on her that are stuck in her mind, and towards the end of it, when she's battling, they actually get her to go into like an amateur fight, and she, like I said, she's going back and forth. She's fighting one day, spending time with Kai the next day, fighting one day, and Kai wants her to like up and travel the world kind of with her, and she's kind of being standoffish. And at the end of it, she recognizes that the person she's fighting in the ring has that tattoo, and then it kind of is like a to be continued. So this one was kind of rough for me just because it was a drawn out two situation thing, and then also either whatever happened in the first one, it wasn't a very good lead into the second one, or it was just kind of like something that they were trying to start in the beginning and connect at the end. I'm not really sure because, like I said, I didn't read the first one of this, but if you read the first one, obviously get into it, but it is a drawn out one, so I actually had to give it a negative. Sorry.
Godzilla. Rage Across Time, number 1. I enjoy Godzilla. I'm not a super fan, but I do enjoy the old movies in particular. And some of the stuff that IDW has been doing with Godzilla has been really good. Like Godzilla in Hell was amazing. It had virtually no words because Godzilla does not speak. He growls and roars. And he was in hell, so he just fought monsters and demons, and that's pretty much all you wanted. This is Godzilla throughout time. Different times where he has been summoned. This takes place in feudal Japan, also in the 1200s. Kind of weird. The art is really good in the past. It is made to look kind of Japanese-esque. And when they flash forward to present time, the art is abysmal. Awful. I don't know who did it, and I'm not going to apologize for it. It's terrible. I can't even find it, and I don't care. This book is basically two warriors are fighting. They're in, the heat of battle, and the old sensei comes up and he says, "Hey, stop battling. There's something way more important. We have to save all of Japan. 2 monsters have appeared. We have to stall them. And you two need to work together because you're the only 2 who are good enough warriors to make it. Go and find this idol and you'll know what to do." They go, they fight across all of Japan, they get an idol. The idol is used to control a monster, and the monster can be controlled with the idol, and they can bring the monster back. It's a 3-headed dragon to fight the other 2 monsters. There's just one problem. In order to get to the idol, one of them stays behind, shoots flaming arrows at it to distract it. It also attracts Godzilla. So their plan absolutely would have worked if Godzilla didn't show up and destroy their 3-headed dragon before they could control it. So they do the next best thing, which is piss off Godzilla, so he follows them back to the other 2 monsters. And then that battle ensues, and I won't spoil anything beyond that. This book is pretty clever. I assume that the scenes that take place in modern time with the really awful art is going to be the continuing theme across this book and tie it all together somehow at the end. I really enjoyed this issue, but I don't know. I guess I'd have to take it on a month-by-month basis, but it's pretty cool, and the art's awesome, except for, the really terrible art at the one point. So, check it out, Godzilla, Rage Across Time.
Alright guys, I'm back. One thing that we did a couple weeks ago, and we just really haven't had any kind of time over the last 2 or 3 weeks, is introducing you to trades of stuff that you're probably not reading yet. So this week's installment is Wayward. If you're a fan of series like Supernatural or Buffy the Vampire Slayer, it's along that same vein. Our main character is a half Japanese, half Irish girl named Rory, who is coming to live with her family, or her mother rather, in Tokyo, Japan. Basically kind of a fish out of water tale. She quickly finds new friends and realizes that she is part of a group of people that have powers, but because of those powers being introduced, are now changing the balance of power that is in the secretive world of Japan. The old gods have been awakened and upset by this new power struggle that's going through. It's beautifully written by Jim Zub. It is beautifully drawn by Steve Cummings. And there's also a bit of backstory. There are essays in each issue by Zach Davidson. These people have lived in Japan. So one of the things that I love about this story is they pay very close attention to the look and feel of Japan. It's almost a character in the book, and they make sure that they pay a reverence to it. Far too many times, most of your cities are kind of just a backdrop. They're not really there for anything. This pays a lot of homage to this area and the history and the traditions of Japan. There are essays in the back that actually pick up some of the storylines and give you real-world explanations of what's going on, because there are a couple twists and turns later in the series. You're like, that could never possibly happen in Japan. And then there's an essay, it's like, oh yeah, it can. Don't go. I highly suggest picking this one up. Wayward is a series that I've liked from the very beginning. As soon as I picked it up, the art is absolutely beautiful. The writing is extremely well done. It's kind of a cute thing because everybody's speaking Japanese, so everything's translated from Japanese. The supporting cast is amazing. The main character is compelling and moving, how she breaks her lines and breaks out of this shell that everybody wants her to be in. And I highly suggest picking this one up. First 3 trades are out, so I highly suggest picking those up first before you get back into the actual series. You don't have to worry, though. You have a little bit of time. The next issue doesn't come out until late September, so you have about a month to catch up on the 3, basically 15 issues that are out now. Or 17 issues that are out now, because issue number 18 is coming out. Pick this up. It is well worth the read. I give this as much attention as I do Invincible and Spider-Man, which are like my favorites of everything I read. I don't miss an issue with this one. Definitely pick it up.
Alright guys, I just wanted to say thank you for all the well wishes. I wanted you guys to all wish Tim a very happy birthday, so make sure you check out his YouTube page and like his page. Thanks for all of our patrons. Hope they continue to grow, so make sure you like our page, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube, leave any comments. Thanks for all the kind comments to me. Check out the Patreon page, and we will see you guys back same time next week. Bye guys. And I just wanted to say thanks for holding everything down when I'm not here and taking care of my boys and continuing to watch and continuing to like. So much love to the boys for holding it down. Keep taking care of them. Thanks, guys. I just wanted to add that.